Treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.
It's the After the Show podcast, precious.
We don't care, we're about to swear on the air. It's the After the Show, so tune in if you dare. KVJ, get risque every single day. It's uncensored. We can say what we want to say.
Yeah, welcome to it. Hello, it is the After the Show podcast. Got an email from, I believe, that Carrabba's manager you're looking for, Jay Bird.
Okay.
Yeah, his name is Sean. He talked about how he was the manager at the Carrabba's in North Palm Beach. And had seen Ann in there. He'd listened for over 10 years at the time, and she would come in, and he bought her a couple meals and would sit there and talk to her. He's all starstruck and said he even tried to talk some smack about me, and oddly enough, she would not. I said, I just want to tell you what an awesome person she was. And so there's some info if you want to contact him. I know you're looking for him.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love hearing these stories. It's great.
Mm-hmm. So there you go. Thank you very much for getting a hold of us. Trying to track him down. A couple other things that going on here. Earlier, Jay Bird was showing off his impressive collection of animal privates.
One picture. It was one squirrel. And I had talked about it before. I don't think you guys remembered it. You probably tuned it out.
Squirrel nuts. Just how big they were, and I'm not talking about the ones they put in their mouth. Well, maybe they do put it in their mouth. I don't know. Squirrels do that kind of stuff. Do animals do weird kind of like sexual things that humans do? Because it seems like...
Yeah, I think they do, because I could have swore that same squirrel started doing that weird tongue thing, like that. I'm like, okay, this squirrel wants to get it on.
Well, and you know, and actually, I saw this question yesterday. I have... I'm on this website, and it's kind of fascinating. I get a lot of stuff off of it, Quora, and so I get email blasts from them. And it's, you know, people just putting up, like, bizarre questions, whatever, but a lot of times it's, like, thought-provoking stuff. You're like, yeah, I don't know. And one of the questions that they had yesterday that I saw was, okay, so what is it about humans, and when do we turn around and start having sex face-to-face? Do you know of any other animal that does that?
Face-to-face sex.
Yeah.
Animal kingdom.
Is there any other animal species? Because everything is, I mean, you can call it doggy style, but it's like everybody does it, so you can't say it's doggy style because it'd be mantis style, squirrel style. I mean, everything I've seen animal-wise.
Duck style.
Tortoise style. Yeah, it's always that, yeah, from behind, look out.
And not everyone's into doggy style, which kind of sad.
Who'd you run across recently?
No one recently, but no, some people don't like doggy style.
Huh.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want to give any more details?
Well, I'm not trying to ruin people's lives. It was somebody I dated a while ago, a long time ago, so I can just get myself out of any kind of trouble. But it was like, no, absolutely not.
Well, I think like your butthole is very exposed if you're a girl, and if you're not comfortable with having your butthole out there.
But I mean, look, we're already doing some weird stuff together, and I'm not. Well, yeah, I probably am looking at your butthole.
It's a good chance of that.
See? That's why. Some girls think that they have an ugly butthole.
No, look.
I know some girls, and this is a big market. You would be surprised, because I talked to my friends at Nouveau, and they do a lot of skincare, laser hair removal, facials, microdermabrasion, microneedling, all that. They said one of the big things that a lot of people, male and female, are coming in and asking for these days is anal bleaching, because people don't like the way their asshole is dark.
But here's the thing,
and they want it to look pink and light.
When you're in that position of doggy style, it's not like the butthole is so exposed. It's not. I mean, unless your butthole is kind of hanging out of your body, and then you go to the emergency room.
Then you have bigger problems. Then you're Britney Spears' dad.
You got to ice that thing down and go to the ER stat.
Damn, girl, your colon just ruptured.
I don't know. I get the concern of the butthole and being weird, but I don't think the butthole is so out there.
I'm curious because I can't see what I look like doggy style, but it can't be pretty.
Oh, whatever. I think that's a lot of people's favorite. It's not to get so excited about. I almost spilled my drink.
Calm down.
Spilled
Good
his
Lord.
drink.
Wow. You get all.
I just think I just think people like doggy style.
I would be curious to see what I looked like.
I think it's probably hot. Not you hot. You're not hot.
What?
No, really, keep going. Since you have one foot in your mouth, why don't you put the other one?
Are you talking about just in general what it looks? It doesn't.
No, I specifically want to know what my bunghole looks like.
Okay, you mean like a point of view kind of a.
Yeah, because I have no idea what it looks like. If I could see it, I probably wouldn't want to do it anymore.
Oh, I think you're fine. You're too hard on your butthole, man.
Don't be hard on your butthole.
Sorry, Kevin. We literally digress.
Kevin was just reading emails.
Kevin's over there doing work, and we're in a deep dive on buttholes.
Look, we'd love to get you in this butthole conversation. What do you got?
And how's
out of your butthole.
I feel like Kevin has a pink butthole.
Oh.
I feel like Kevin's butthole looks like his nipples.
He's got baboon ass.
like
He
a
does.
puppy's belly or a hamster's foot.
It's very clean. It looks like you just took the plastic wrap right off of it.
It's got that new butthole
Yeah.
smell.
It's
Yeah,
right off
it
the
does.
showroom floor.
It does. It is. The low mileage, which is shocking for my age.
Low mileage.
I would be so sad if I saw a picture of my butthole next to Kevin's butthole and his looked better. Like, that would really wreck my day. And I think I might want to go get anal bleaching.
Reality check. I think it does. I'm just saying. I think the Bronx. If we had to do a little butthole
All right,
contest,
let's do a side-by-side Twitter poll.
Okay.
y'all do not want to see my ass. It is not a good.
You're in this too?
Well, yeah, I want to compete.
All right.
Even if I'm going to get the bronze.
You get the brown bronze medal.
Okay, Kim G says, "Oh my OMG, just get on all fours in front of a mirror. It's not that difficult." Well, I don't know,
No,
Kim G.
it's not the same, Kim G. I want to know the vantage point and how my butthole looks if, like, Panda's back there doggy style.
Kim G, it's not that simple.
Kim G, it's really not. It's all about angles, Kim.
All right, I'm sorry, Kim. You want to move on?
No, I mean, please. We've got to get to. I mean, we need to rank. I mean, who we should go from lightest to darkest. It's like a.
Who has the prettiest butthole?
Well, I mean, beauty is in the eye of the beholder, Virginia. So, I mean,
Beauty is in the brown,
Brown
eye.
eye
brown
of
eye
the
of the beholder.
beholder.
So you might have somebody that would look at one butthole and be like, "Oh, that's grotesque," and somebody else like, "Oh my gosh, it's beautiful," for different reasons.
I mean, Noelle has a good suggestion. I don't know if you're down with this, Mama. Have Panda take a picture of it, or is that mortifying to you?
I mean, I kind of do want to see.
Yeah, do it. Have fun. Drink some wine, or champagne. Have a butthole photo shoot. Just for you two. This one's for you.
All right, well, I got a job to do tonight.
Okay. Yeah, then rate it.
Can you do it too with Kim when she's pegging you?
Yeah. I don't even see her tonight, but I'll ask. Yes.
Yeah,
Pegging me.
Virginia always goes she always goes too far.
I'm like,
she does. You're like, I'm not
it took
into
me a second. I'm like, wait, what's pegging again?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
I'm not
my
into
wife's
pegging.
got a
Now you
strap
got
on.
like the queen's pegging me. I'm
yeah,
not
like,
into it.
it took me a
What?
second. I'm like, wait, what is that again? Like,
I know.
oh, that's right.
Do-
I'm getting
do you-
ass raped. Yes.
Sorry.
Do you
That's my
feel
wife.
awkward on the air? Okay, Virginia did her job.
It fell flat.
Like my ass.
Yeah, maybe there's a day and a way that we can find out. Maybe we can go in and take a look at our buttholes and have the person who does whatever it is they do come in and they could rate
I
them.
bet you they would do it at Nouveau. They do it already.
Well,
they
they
do
probably-
the anal bleaching, so they've seen it.
Well, it's kind of like with everything has a shade, like a Crayola.
Yeah.
Yeah. What would be our Crayola butthole color?
I asked her, I said, is it weird?
Like I could see Jaybird being a burnt sienna.
Look, we pissed on our faces. They said it couldn't be done. We can do this.
No, I said it couldn't be done, and I was stupid for saying that. 'Cause
shouldn't be
can
done.
Oh, that's right. It shouldn't,
be done.
That's what it was.
You're right.
animal.
It shouldn't be done.
Kim McEwen in the chat room says Bird's butthole may be stained. No, it's not. I got a clean butthole too. I don't want no.
I love how all the Kims are like butthole,
Yeah,
very active.
you're right.
In
What
the
Kim means.
conversation.
Yeah.
Your Kim pegs you. These Kims in the
Yes.
chat room got a lot to
Oh,
say.
these Kims just want to talk about buttholes all
Butthole
day.
curious, yes. That's what it is.
That's what you need, Jay Bird. You need to find a Kim.
There you go.
Yep. See, awkward. All right, Virginia.
What I was looking up over here was, humans having sex face-to-face. And the theories on it, 2 different reasons. One, the intimacy and the fact that we're one of the few mammals that actually, will have a monogamous relationship. Most of them just hit it and quit it. That's one. And then 2, because we're a dominant species, it provides the best position for procreation.
Oh.
Yes.
Interesting.
Do you see what your questions spawn, though? It gets people talking.
Learning.
Yeah, that was a whole conversation about buttholes, but I did learn something.
Yeah.
Well, if we're saying the butthole stuff, everything else we'll forget by noon.
Yeah.
You're right. It's weird, the stuff that sticks with
I can't even remember the fact or fiction questions. I just know they were awesome.
I know. I can tell you one thing. They weren't butthole fact or fiction questions.
No, not on the regular show. Can't do that.
But we can do that tomorrow on the podcast.
We could do a fact or fiction
butthole edition.
or just dirty edition.
Ooh.
Dirty edition. Okay.
Fucked fact or fiction. Like that's the name of the. Not.
It's
all
not
right.
the name.
All right.
We gotta keep thinking.
Again, we're just.
How about fucked or fiction?
Okay.
Fucked or fiction?
I thought that sounded a little aggressive. I was
But
gonna
you threw the F word in there anyway.
I was going to say, like, the fucked fact or fiction. When you say fucked or fiction, it's either you're getting fucked or the fiction quote.
I think you're overthinking it.
Maybe so.
Let me tell you why we can't do it that way.
It doesn't deserve this much talk time.
That's your own opinion.
Not only can you do things that will aesthetically improve your butthole, but apparently there's a new thing now called Scrotox, which is Botox injections right into your scrotal region. Men can get this, and the reason why they is apparently it will make things down there more relaxed so it hangs more naturally and looks fuller and smoother. You could take your scrotum back decades.
But it's going to make your balls look long. That's the thing about Botox, okay? Because I know a thing or two about Botox. It relaxes everything. But if you've got extra skin like your nuts do, now they're going to be down further than they were when your body naturally sucks them up a little bit.
And the other thing I'd say, too, is if you're going down there, you want to make sure that your twig and your berries match in age-wise. Because if you can do a procedure that takes away decades from one of the two, it's going to look odd. Because, imagine if you had a young-looking peen but old balls. You'd be like, whoa, wait, what's going on here?
Or if you got an old dinosaur dick and young balls.
Exactly. Either way, they got to match up. They got to look like they're from the same era. Otherwise, you'd be like, okay, this is disturbing.
It's like when old guys dye their hair, but everything else is kind of like their jet black, young 18-year-old hair is going on, but then everything
and
else.
It's real full,
Yes.
and you're like, what's going on?
But everything else on their body is
crazy.
75 years old. You're like, it doesn't.
I was talking to my girl at the hair club when she was doing my hair the other day, and she was talking about some of these old guys that come in. She's like, yeah, because our goal here is to blend it.
Natural.
Have everything look natural. And you have guys that will come in there and they insist. And
On
she's
being
like,
jet black.
She's like, I'm telling you, it's going to look fake. It's not going to look, no, I'm the client. I'm always, how we did that?
Yeah.
The client's always right. And she's
All
like,
right.
I'm just telling you. And so they will have, it looks like a hair hat sitting on their head. And
Just know when you go out, girls like me are making fun
they
of
don't
you.
think so. They think that
it's true.
They think if I have gray hair, it's going to make me look old. They're like, no, your old ass face and your young ass hair make you look old and now ridiculous.
It does.
You look like a clown.
You're peacocking in the wrong way.
Right.
Yeah, because I was kind of curious because I was in the lobby and, I've seen amazing stuff that they've done with people. And this one guy came in, I was like,
Ooh.
I'm kind of looking around, I'm like, okay, what's going on with this guy?
Hopefully he got it somewhere else.
Yeah, right. I was like, hopefully he's in here to get fixed. And no, I found out, and they have it's like, we've got to do it. If they want that, then we're like, okay, that's just what we do. It's like what the client wants.
It could be, too, that his eyes aren't so good and he can't see how bad it looks.
No. He thinks he looks young and hot. Younger and hot.
That's tough.
That is
That's
tough.
why you have to have a mean old wife who will tell you dicky things. Hey, your hair looks stupid. Hey, moron. Yeah, then you'll be like, okay, I need to go get this fixed.
She just has to be, in reality. You don't have to be mean, but you have to be able to look at your husband and say, no, honey.
Sometimes these guys don't get nice.
Yeah, you got young hair but old balls. Come on, make them match.
Yeah. Everything's got to be on the same page. You can't have these young, new, fresh-looking balls and an old dick.
I mean, do you really care about are you okay with your balls? Do you really care about
fine with them, honestly.
Yeah, it's like
They-
my feet. I don't give a fuck. Balls, feet.
The only time it's a concern is if they're hanging below and out of my shorts. Like, that's the concern.
Or if
that's
you
the
sit on them or
yeah,
something.
That's when I become concerned. Other than
Yeah,
that,
other than
no.
that, I'm like, all right, so you got, they're not the best looking balls, and I can go to bed okay with that.
Ashley sent this in, said, I was listening to Dax Shepard's Armchair Expert podcast, and Thomas Middleditch, that's Richard from Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
If you haven't seen the show, he's the one, what is the cell phone service? Is it T-Mobile or it's one of those things? He's the nerdy guy that's always like, and if you do this, and he's the skinny nerd kind of guy that's trying to sell the mobile package to whomever is around there.
Can you hear me now? Can you hear me now?
No, it's not that
guy's
guy.
at Sprint now.
Yeah, no, this is the other guy. That
Okay.
You'll see. Anyway, that's who he is. He's not a massive star, but if you know the show Silicon Valley, you know who he is. He told a story about the first time he ever masturbated and was in the shower. He said that when he was done, he needed to pee and didn't realize that you could piss in your face. And because he's still a little hard, his aim was different. Didn't think about it. Forced out the pee and pissed right in his face.
Oh.
So you guys aren't alone.
It's nice to hear other people tell their stories.
Yeah. Except we were meaning to do it.
I thought we were pioneers.
Pioneers.
Pioneers. Very good.
Pioneers.
That's what we were. Right there. And if you're looking for a new show, Erica had said, I know Jaybird's a fan of Arrested Development, so I was wondering if you'd seen Schitt's Creek. It's kind of reminds me of Arrested Development. It's a Canadian show. What's that about?
SCHITTS Creek.
Yes.
Schitt's Creek.
Got you.
The 4 seasons are currently on Netflix. It's funny, and episodes are only 25 minutes long. They recently aired season 5 in Canada, and they've been renewed for a 6th and final season to air next year. So there you go. If you want to check that out.
Yeah, no, I'm always looking for programming.
I've actually got that on my queue list on Netflix. And to help you out and find programs, Netflix says they might start ranking some content by how popular it is, meaning you have an idea of how well some of their shows and movies are doing. So imagine if you went to a category and it'd be like a top 10 list or the top 10 most, and they'll do like a trending now, but it's just
I don't believe.
a row
By the
of
way,
them.
I don't believe they're
I don't
trending
either.
now. I think they
I
put
agree.
that up there just as a section, and they have it on a fucking loop. I do not believe you, Netflix.
Yeah, I'm right there with you. I agree on that.
There's a lot of stuff on Netflix that's good that should be out in the forefront, and it is so hidden. If you don't know specifically what you're looking for, you'll never find it. You have to type it in.
That's the tough part, yeah. And every now and then, like something will resurface. Like I said, I found that Foo Fighters documentary, and I'm like, man, a better system would have known me better and been like, this dude loves the Foo Fighters. I love that documentary, and I'd have been right on that.
TMZ was live on TMZ, and they were talking to Larry Charles, one of the creators with Curb Your Enthusiasm with Larry David, and he had this documentary on Netflix, and I thought it sounded so interesting, and I think I've told you about it before. Every episode's comedy in different countries and how they do it. There's some people, they do their comedy and they leave the stage and they might get assassinated. They might get shot because it's not allowed. Free speech isn't allowed, and then they still do it because they
Good
love
Lord.
Yeah, it's
Right.
different perspectives of comedy. So all this hype's around it. I go on Netflix, it was nowhere there. You had to type it in there and it was hidden in the back somewhere.
What?
Yeah. Fuck Netflix.
Well, there you go. It's all out there now. Boy, this is something that I could see easily making this into one of those true crime type stories. This got to happen. I mean, the making of the murderer.
Yeah.
I mean, this sounds like this is straight on. It doesn't even sound real, this story. I didn't get to it yesterday, but the headline, Florida governor says 27 possible graves have been found near a controversial boys' reform school. And this is in Marianna, Florida, where Jaybird went to college for a year. And Governor Ron DeSantis is now writing that anomalies consistent with possible graves were discovered. And they had found even a ton more. Now, they just shut their doors 8 years ago. This school had been open for 111 years. It's the Arthur G. Dozier School for Boys. And it's some crazy kind of like stuff. So the 27 anomalies they're seeing on this ground radar looks like it probably could be graves in a wooded area about 500 yards north of where they found the remains of 51 boys in 2013.
Oh my gosh. This is a mass grave site.
This happened in 2013? As far as they first finding out with the bodies?
Here's some of the timetables on the stuff. Nearly 100 kids died while at the school, according to state and school records. Many as a result of tragic dormitory fire that happened in 1914. There was a flu epidemic in 1918. So, when a boy died, I guess the parents didn't come get him or take him away. This is like, I guess a reform school. And so they're probably unwanted kids or orphans or whatever. And so
olden
they would
times, you never know what the fuck's going on.
Well, that's just kind of it. It probably, if you're in this thing, you're just like, okay, nobody cares about you anyway. We'll do whatever we want to these damn kids. And I mean, for some reason, it's a haunting time, the early 1900s.
It is, man. I just feel like that was a very hotbed of activity for ghosts.
Creepy. If you didn't have a big pile of cash and your family wasn't fancy, it feels like you were either fancy or fucked.
It does. Back then, it feels like you're either fancy or fucked. Very good.
Yeah, so they don't really know with some of these graves that they're finding, okay, were these legit deaths where a kid had died and they were handling it the right way? Because there were tons of reports about some of the schoolmasters and people that had worked there being awful to some of the kids that had been there.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Oh, and especially the old souls like that from the early 1900s. You know that it reeks of hauntings.
So where in Marianna, Florida was this? Like, Marianna, Florida. You could go back there and probably find it,
It's the
Jay
corner
Bird.
of 2nd Street and Jones.
Yes, I do know 2nd Street.
Are you just making shit up?
Yes.
Who knows Marianna, Florida?
Jay Bird knows that he lived there.
I do, but I don't even know fucking Palm Beach County. I grew up here.
It's true.
You think I'm going to give you the right information about Marianna, Florida?
Well, in 2008, Governor Christ at the time had ordered an investigation because there's a group of men that came forward known as the White House Boys. And they told stories of beatings that happened inside this small white building on the property.
Oh, my gosh.
They said they were beaten unconscious or whipped until their underwear was embedded in their butts.
Oh.
I mean, just the kind of like horrific stuff. Already I'm seeing scenes. This whole thing's like playing out in my head how they made this.
There's a creepy headmaster that's running the school in the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Now, hopefully, when the headmaster that did all this died, the beatings and the murders stopped. I mean, did they continue, future decades? Passed on the tradition of killing kids?
Well, they came forward in 2008. The school closed in 2011. They cited budget cuts to get rid of the school, but that has kind of been, that's relatively recent. But so, the story's been around, and if you see the photo they have, the graves just look like what you would see in one of those specials. They've taken, you ever seen kind of like metal plumbing pipes that you would just have like for water? Like they took them and welded them together and painted them white like a cross. And they're just like in the ground. Half of them are crooked and all that kind of stuff. I mean, it just looks like if you were like, how can we make this creepy? Hey, let's get some plumbing pipe. Let's just hand paint it white and then halfway jam them in the ground and make them crooked.
It's the recipe for spirits and ghosts.
It's horrifying.
Metal pipe crosses mark the graves at the makeshift cemetery. Yeah, just so, top to bottom. And yeah, Marianna, Florida, it just sounds like kind of like one of those creepy old towns where you'd have the trees with the moss that's like hanging out.
A spider would always conveniently be kind of just hanging out, looking at you, then scampering off.
I just bought a bunch of that moss because we're decorating for the Crawfish Festival on Saturday. That moss, you got to be careful. It comes with bugs in it sometimes.
It does. Yeah, and also some of that moss can fall out and go into your eyeball if you're trying to hang it high, and you'll have a whole eye infection for a good 12. You know about eye infections, Virginia.
I do. I once had fake pink eye.
Yes. Yeah. She's just taunting. You're just throwing it right in our face, aren't you, Sinicki?
Like moss in your eye.
Mm-hmm. Ann said, did you see that one kid had received 135 lashes at 2 a.m. in the morning?
Oh, my God.
And almost died. And people who went to the school have similar stories. So all this stuff was just coming out.
Oh.
What year did that happen? Did they have a year?
She didn't give me a date on that. But like I said, the school closed 2011. At 2008 is when that group of men then came forward and said, hey, you got to know what is going on at this reform school.
So we're talking even in modern times, there was some bullshit going down.
They need to name the people specifically that abuse these children. If they're still alive, let's go fuck them up.
It reminds me of, I don't know if you've ever seen that one movie, Sleepers, with Kevin Bacon and Jason Patrick. It's about kids that they do something wrong and they go to a boarding school and the boarding school was terrible. And I want to say it's based on a true story. I could be wrong.
It just sets the stage for horror.
Yeah.
You know, when you think of something like that, where you have horrible faculty that just runs unchecked, and you have boys that don't have an advocate or a champion for them or anybody who really cares, that are just kind of like, they've fallen through the cracks in the system.
Oh, if I was them, I would just run away. I can't imagine. Maybe they had fences and they couldn't get out.
That's probably part of the story, is that
maybe it
they're
was
trying
like
to
a
escape.
prison.
Yeah, them trying to escape.
Oh, that breaks my heart for those poor children.
Oh, absolutely. Crazy.
Nothing pisses me off more than when people hurt kids. I just want to kill.
All right, let's get a little happier. Let's go back to buttholes.
I want to kill buttholes.
Yeah, that'd be a good place. That'd be a good place to shoot them, right in the butthole.
Really? It'd be like a target.
People that hurt children, you ram a gun right up their ass and shoot them.
I'd imagine that might be one of the worst ways to go.
You shouldn't have hurt children.
Oh,
then.
no. I agree with all that, but I'm just saying, just on the pure topic of gun up your butthole, you don't think that would be one of the worst ways to go, Kevin?
He might enjoy it right before.
I mean, if I were ranking
end.
it, no, I think a lot, because it might be more sudden. The worst way to go, Denny's was talking. He popped in here yesterday with one of his odd little pieces of factoid knowledge.
Denny's random facts.
Yeah, Denny's random facts. He was talking about that guy who was an expert on keeping people alive through torture, where there's kind of an art form to it, where you know how much the body can take. And he didn't want them to die, so he would make it as painful, excruciatingly painful as possible, but their body would not quit on them.
Like in the movie Seven, that movie was fucked. Remember that movie with Brad Pitt? That is such an underrated movie. It's
horrifying.
It's horrifying. If you like that kind of movie, I highly recommend watching Seven if you have not seen it. It will freak your mind, though.
There you go. Yeah, so it's, wow. Crazy story. So it'll be interesting to see what they come up with that. And then, I don't know, they do autopsies on the bodies they find if there are in the graves, and can they come up with, okay, they died this way or that way? I'd imagine they could.
Yeah, you can tell if there was like blunt trauma and broken skulls, and they tried to say this kid died from the flu. Well, obviously he didn't die from the flu if he has a cracked cranium.
But they can give their theory on how they died.
Oh, that just breaks my heart, man.
Yep. Craziness.
Thanks for the uplifting story.
Well, it's very sad, but it's also spooky, too. And some people do like that spooky stuff. I'm fascinated with that kind of stuff because clearly now that it's getting the publicity there's going to be a documentary.
I would imagine in a couple years you're going to see that.
I'm pretty sure.
Special.
I think Kay Jacobs in the chat room said there's already been a book written about it, too.
Really?
Yeah. I thought that's what she had said.
Then you're going to see it in probably 5 or 10 years. It is going to, about that whole school, it is going to be some kind of special. Because, it's because people love that true to life stuff.
Right.
Matthew, a little bit of Uber advice on the cancellation. Said, I was listening to your show talking about Uber drivers baiting you to cancel. If you do cancel, you can go back into the app, select the trip, and write a complaint for a refund or credit, and just say they never showed up, and you'll get your money back. Matter of fact, you can do this for dirty vehicles, poor routes. Longer routes ends up charging you more, so this is another trick they use. Dangerous driving, making you walk, anything really you feel is inappropriate for a ride service. And that makes sense because they want to have good experiences for their customers.
I just feel like Lyft and Uber is now at the point where you complain and nobody gives a shit. It's almost like when you complain at a fast food restaurant or out at Walmart, nobody cares, and you have to take it, and it's like, well, then don't use the service.
I think what happens, you have shelf lives on businesses, and they have, there are different stages of the business. When it first came out, it was exciting. It was convenient. People were jumping in it saying, oh my gosh, extra little income here and there. And then I think there were some realities that started to come out of it where some of the drivers are realizing, I'm not making crap for money. Like, I'm actually kind of maybe losing money, and what's the point of this?
And then they're I've had several Uber and Lyft drivers complain without really getting into a conversation about how much money they make. And I'm like, I'm so sorry, man.
Well, it's like you made the choice to do it, and you're still here. So, if you don't like it, quit driving.
It just makes the ride uncomfortable.
It does.
So I think
you're like, argh.
I think what happened was you probably had an influx of maybe some more quality drivers to start off with, and then they started to realize as they had more going on in their lives that it wasn't worth it. And so now you're it's starting to settle. It's leveling itself out. And now you're seeing some of the true problems that can exist with the service.
I mean, I've got a good 12 stories of shit you can't believe has gone on in a Lyft.
It always happens to you, too. You have the most drama happen in
Denny's
a Lyft.
and Denny's, too. But I take the most Ubers and Lyfts out of anybody. I mean, my rate's going to be higher as far as weird shit to happen. And there was that one guy, he found out where we were going. And then the whole time, it was like when you get into an argument with one of your family members, he was so mad we weren't going that far. And the whole time me and Denny's are looking at each other like, fuck, wow, we really pissed in this guy's Wheaties. That does not make for a comfortable experience.
It's awkward, and you just like can't wait to get to your destination.
He's like, you're only going 7 miles? How am I ever going to make any money? I don't know why I turned into Aunt Ann there, but...
Yeah, but that's kind of how it goes. Let me see here. I got an email from Nikki talking about doing KVJ Live, where we would be doing this thing right here at different bars, locations where people can drink. And we'd love to start. That's one thing I'm really trying to kick into a higher gear.
That's my favorite when we do this kind of things, and not everyone's a KVJ listener. And butthole, but are those people talking about buttholes right now?
Yeah, right.
So sorry.
And she had a suggestion of trying out Township in Fort Lauderdale. Attached a few pictures of the space and contact card for their events coordinator. I drink there all the time and didn't even realize there was a stage. Yep. I think it'd be a great venue for the ATS. Definitely be one of your cheerleaders and spread the word in the downtown area. My company manages a lot of buildings. And we send out e-blasts. I remember Nikki came when we were at YOLO one time. They're on Las Olas.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I've been to Township. It's awesome. It's really cool. A lot of great TVs, and they do have like a little area where we could, sit there and do the deal. It's a cool spot, good location, right in downtown Lauderdale. So, yeah, we'll definitely hit them up, try to get this going. So we're trying to motivate our sales team. Yeah, go get this done.
Yes.
Let me make it happen. So,
lighting that fire.
That's right. Light that fire, because we'd love to do it. It'd be nice to do. I'd love to do one a month. It'd be fantastic.
Amen.
Parts of South Florida.
We should be doing one a month.
Yeah.
That is the exact number.
That's the goal. That's the plan. So
we also want to bring a little cocktails and karaoke back, but it is on a little hiatus for right now. We got to find a new venue. It's not happening at Blue Martini this Friday, the 19th of April. As previously announced, it is canceled.
Okay. So nothing on Friday then.
We're just going to have a party at Kevin's house.
And his address is...
Oh, I'm going to tweet it out after the podcast.
Good.
Oh, I used to know your address. Man, I can't even give out your address.
You're the one of the
tragic.
You only know... I only know like 2 numbers that I've memorized in my entire life.
Yeah.
And one is from my house in Lake Park when I was 8. And the other one is Kevin's number.
His address or his phone number?
Phone number.
Oh.
Sorry.
Okay.
I don't know what the fuck we're talking about.
Does your address start with a 1?
Nope. There is a 1 in it, though.
Does your phone number start with a 7?
Does it start with
Yes.
a 2?
Yeah, it does.
Does it start with a 28? Mm-hmm. 2817?
No, you're close. 2810.
2810.
Are you giving out your address?
It's a house number. Yeah.
He's got balls.
I
Why don't
found
you give out yours?
People just Google it like nothing anyway.
I
so,
know.
Yeah. So,
I've given out my address. Everyone fucking knows where I live. I live off Village, guys. Come and stalk me. I don't give a shit.
Get in line, because there's 3 other stalkers in the bush.
Yeah, come to my house. I don't care. I don't answer the door anyway. So
Yeah, I don't either.
you'll be standing there forever. Like I'll look at the people. I'll see. Be like, I'm not answering. I don't know who they are.
I don't know who the hell that is.
You knock on my door, I'll be under my bed trembling.
Yeah. There you go. Yeah. I'll get you nowhere. Show up, stand there, have a good time. All right, anything you want to throw on the show, you can let us know. Email, mail at kvjshow.com. Have a great day. Goodbye.
Cleveland Clinic, Florida provides individualized treatment plans for excellent outcomes of health problems, ranging from the most common to the most complex, even in cases considered untreatable by others. Cleveland Clinic, Florida. Every life deserves world-class care.